different images than the same shit all the time.
Wow, Claire Crust on the podcast.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Perfect timing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, welcome back to the Wad Prep podcast. I'm your host, CJ De Palma, with the better host, JY, and the best host, Claire Bays. What's up, guys?
Hi, friends.
Let's keep it clean. This is a family podcast, Claire.
Definitely a family podcast.
Okay.
I said the most like PG-13 curse word possible.
This is true. That's not true. I did have a question. I was thinking about this today because I was thinking two things. It just crossed into my mind that John is like, you know, like you're very pure. Like you don't curse. You try not to like, I don't know, like guilty pleasures, like glutton and like, you know, all the bad stuff. And so, but you're very, very proficient on TV and movies. So like, is anything off the off limits for like TV shows?
That's a fair question.
Yeah, like I'm watching like Landman, and like so like is anything like is anything off limits there?
Sure. I would say that most of like anything that happened between like I would say 2020 and down, like any movie that happened, like I've watched literally everything, no matter what was in it.
Sure.
And then nowadays I try not to, I don't avoid it, but I don't go out of my way to watch something that I know is just sex. Right.
Sure.
Like,
got it. Did you watch Game of Thrones when it was?
Yeah, I watched Game of Thrones. I watched Game of Thrones, but that had a lot of.
That was pre. It did, but
like,
that was
I'm watching that for the plot.
Was that pre-reform, John?
Part of the plot, right? Like, well, and here that's a good example. So I would say Game of Thrones would probably be the extent of what I would like. That looks like a good show.
Well, so I mean, so like season 1 is way different than season 7, right? Season 1 was.
I would say it gets less and less.
Yeah, it does. It gets way less. So like you have to define, is it season 1 or season 7?
Season 3.
There we go.
Yeah. By the way, I want to shout out Kenneth. He's 1 week of JY Barbell Fitness in and getting stronger already. Go to John Young or jybarbell.com. jybarbell.com, $25 a month. But you are here for Wad Prep. Do that first.
I was going to say, John.
I'm like,
do that first.
Brother. Listen, you did it last week. That's enough. But Kenneth, congratulations for week 1. And also, if you want to, get your skills between now and the open figured out, then you go to Wad Prep. So
Absolutely.
Anyway, choose your journey.
There we go. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah,
both will be great resources.
It's the extent of what I would like seek out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Anything off limits?
Yeah.
No, I don't have.
What with movies, TV?
Mm-hmm.
So I live under a rock. I don't even know I watched the F1 movie on a flight though.
So
I was on it was so I enjoyed it so much.
Good.
I don't ever watch movies ever.
So good.
So that was a really good movie.
Such a great movie.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No, I have not.
Oh man.
Really
I will tell you, having a baby makes it a lot. Makes like the movie consumption stuff like way less.
Yeah, you gotta pick and choose your where you're gonna put your energy even more.
It didn't mean for that to happen. It just kind of happened.
What? Have a baby?
No, yeah. I mean that kind of
lose all the free time that he didn't realize he had at the time that he had.
Yeah, absolutely.
How it works.
Every time, like I'm watching Abby, I would have been just watching a movie or something.
Yeah. Well, now, if you want to be present with her, you have to be really intentional with that, which I'm speaking on something I haven't experienced yet, but it definitely is something I think about whenever I think about parenting in the future. Like that's going to be not the easiest thing ever to have to.
Tough.
Huh?
It's certainly tough. I mean, there's times when, I know Bennett's watching a show and like, we're just like on our phones and I'm like, I don't like this. I was like, but it's okay. It's fine. We don't do it often. Like it's not like an everyday, all day thing. It's certainly an everyday thing in some capacity, but it's, we try to limit it. We're conscious of it. And I think that's the biggest thing is just, like be conscious of it. You're not going to be, you can't be crunchy 100% of the time because then you just start to make everything miserable all the time.
Speaking of crunchy 100% of the time, did you see I sent you like 8 links just a second ago?
Oh, no.
but there's one of them that's like when you see it and can't unsee it, and she's like walking through the grocery store. It's hilarious.
Claire, you don't send me any of these.
Oh, John, maybe we'll get there.
John, well, Claire works for Wad Prep now. Me and Claire talk more than we used to.
Yeah, all we used to talk is on the show, but that still is kind of a lot, and now it's kind of more.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just okay.
John, do you need me to send you things? I don't know. I mean, what would I send you?
No, I guess I feel like I'm a part of the team, but I'm really not. And
it's all right.
And well, like this is the team that I'm aware of. You know what I mean? And Claire does a lot more. Like she actually works
recently. Yeah, that's only like a 2-week thing.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just kind of like this dude that shows up from time to time.
Okay, stuff related to the show. Sometimes I just send it to CJ, so I'll send it to both of you. The only thing is, like, for example, the video I'm referencing, like, I don't even think you would get any sort of enjoyment out of it, but maybe I'm wrong. Like, I think you'd probably just be like, this is a topic I really don't care about. So thank you for wasting my time. Whereas I think CJ might like it.
I think you're probably right, but I just, like to be included.
He likes to be included.
Okay. All right.
Because like I would click on it and then be like, I don't care, but I want to be able to click on it still.
Listen, if you ever decide to revoke that, you're like, all right, actually, I don't want what you have to say.
No.
Then that's okay. Just let me know. But sure, I'll send you stuff.
And then you'll send something that I did really like, and I'll be like, Claire, that was a good one. And then you'll feel like he likes something. You know what I mean?
Man, that's my gauge for if I've made it or not.
Yeah, like CJ when he got followed by Hiller today.
He did.
Totally.
Which, by the way, that was one of my notes. I was simply just I already, sort of thanked him through story on social media. But either way, I just like shout out to Hiller, and we appreciate the fact that you chose to shine a light on a segment of the show from Friday.
Yep, that was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Appreciate it for sure.
I don't decline invites.
Okay, so
I definitely decline invites, but I always want to be invited. Like when the guys go out and I'm like, man, thanks for the invite. Like they're like, you want to come? Like, I don't give a shit. I was like, send me the invite because I want to know that I'm loved.
Oh, you meant like to go do things. I meant just on a podcast.
No, we're talking about socializing. That was that statement was socializing.
Oh no, I decline a lot of stuff then.
Okay, so we are going to get to open specific stuff, but before we go there, I did enjoy this. Let's see here. CrossFit said a couple things that made me want to ask a question. And okay, here we go. So this was in relation to your faith and like, hey, you don't really indulge whatever. And then he said, we sure about gluttony. And so he's talking about you, John. And then he said something lower about CJ's, I don't know. Anyway, that made me think, okay, so if we were to take like the 7 deadly sins, now I'm curious if you were to have to like call yourself out for which one you participate in the most.
Easy. Would
it be gluttony?
No, pride. All day.
Okay. People are going to appreciate that from you.
Yeah. No. I think that everybody struggles with one or two things more than everything else, right? Like,
yeah, we're human.
Right, but like I'm saying, it's not the same. Everybody has their thing, and one of mine is pride, and I'm fully aware of that. I married Leslie because she was fantastic at calling me out on it. And
you just muted yourself.
Brother, you're gone.
Oh, can you still hear
me? Yeah, we got you now. What happened?
I don't know. God didn't want what I was, or not God. The devil didn't want what I was about to say. But Leslie's really good at calling me out on it, and that was one of the reasons why I married her, because I'm not the best at singing all the time, and I don't want to be prideful, but I still am, and I'm aware of that, and I still struggle with it every day, and it's just it's the easiest one for me to call myself out on, for sure.
Yeah, and you probably see it a lot more now thanks to her role in your life, maybe.
For sure. But like the thing is, and like this is where the sin is, like I'll know when I don't need to do this, but I want to anyway. And then I'm still not the best at like just saying no to that. And sometimes I'm like, I don't care, and I'm gonna rock with it. And that's the sin. That's the sin. That's the sinfulness of it. Okay. What about you?
It's a part of your persona online. So for the sake of entertainment, even, so I'm just maybe keep it around a little because it's pretty funny. when you think that you can beat games athletes at things.
I still stand by that. Games athletes are fit. It doesn't mean they're athletic. It's the truth. And I think it's hilarious when people think that they're like unbeatable at things because they are some of the fittest people in the world. They're two different things.
Yeah.
LeBron would suck at CrossFit, and LeBron's the most athletic person there is on the planet.
Yeah, we've seen the videos. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you LeBron's combine is much better than those guys' combine. How much you want to bet he would suck at CrossFit? They don't equal 2 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think his combine? I mean, he would do great on. I guess he would be pretty good. I'm trying to think.
The bench press would be the only thing he would struggle at.
I feel like his. You think it's like 5'10" and corner would be good?
I think he would be fast enough.
Sure. Okay. All right.
Faster than
Totally
Hopper.
different. Yeah. No, I don't think it would be. You think
I think
so?
it would be. Yeah. Hopper was not fast, man.
I mean, but he's still. I mean, look, there's a point where height becomes a negative to agility. Like there's like on the other side of that bell curve.
Sure,
that was something that Carolyn Prevost mentioned last night in the Clydesdale Sunday night CrossFit Talk show. Huh?
You are on it. I so appreciate you.
I am?
Yeah, you are. You're just like, I just referenced this show and that show and this show. I love it. I love it.
Thank you, because today I feel like an airhead. So thank you very much.
Right. I'll take blame for most of that, to be honest.
I'm going to tell you, I almost put my computer through a wall. I definitely took a walk after one of the calls. So I was like, I need a minute. Anyway, but it's okay. We're going to get through it. So, so Carolyn Prevost made a comment about us testing running and sprinting specifically, and saying that like that's something that she wished that we tested a little bit more in our sport. So anyway,
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, she wishes that because she's good at it.
Sure.
That's like me saying,
can you blame her?
I want to test the one rep max more. And
right.
I don't think we need to, but
I think the sprint can be tested more. I think if
it's tested in the games as a one event thing, I don't think it should be tested more. I think it's covered.
I think so too.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Okay.
I only mean there, like at when there's 13 tests.
Yeah.
When there's a broad range, like it doesn't need to be a test, when there's 6 tests. That's
correct. I'm saying at the games, it should be an event. Most of the time it is. It doesn't bother me when it's not. Most of the time it is. Right.
Yeah. Okay. So CJ, what's the 7 deadly sins? What's your worst one?
I don't know. I had to look them up. It's not my.
Do you want me to? I should say them for the listeners.
We should guess. Know. I think we should guess them.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Let's say what they are. So the 7 are pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. What do you think that CJ says?
Probably pride as well.
Yeah, that's. I don't even.
I think pride would be common with men and envy would be common with women, just in general. I'm not saying that's the case for everybody, but I think the most common one for each one would be that. And then, everybody's got their selective stuff.
All right, CJ, what do you think for yourself? I know it's tough.
I don't know. I mean, it certainly was like prior to my wife, like it was lust. Like I was not a.
That's fair. No, men pride lust. Yeah.
That would be a more male, whatever. Yeah.
And just in general, and even so, like Jan made me laugh. So I mean, I think even still, right? I mean, I'm like a pretty sexual person, and like that stuff struggles, right? Like it's just part of the game is being a guy, and and probably lust and I don't know, wrath. I mean, I kind of struggle with like some anger sometimes, not on the show, but I mean, I do for sure.
Yeah.
I think you let it go most of the time though.
Yeah, nothing sticks around. Nothing for me sticks around. But I've gone through I've gone through like I kind of had to like self. So I've never done a lot of talk therapy, or I've never done talk therapy. I've probably should have for quite a few different like bouts in my life. But what I've realized is that all of it's fleeting. and like all of that stuff is fleeting too. And I've had to really talk myself through it. Like, I mean, I've been married 10 years, right? And as a 35-year-old,
Yeah,
and
which is
so,
awesome.
you know, and we've been together 5 more after that. And so we've been through a lot. Like with their car, the bags have been fucking packed, right? Like, I mean, like more than once, you know, like we left Pensacola, cushy Southern, to like live in Miami in a box that was no bigger than this room for like years. And so like we've gone through it. And so like anxiety and like depression, like I've gone through bits of that. And there was definitely a time early in my career where those things came out a lot, right? Because like I wasn't super successful and like money wasn't great and those kind of things. And it's like I've had to just like, that's like what gets me through those things. Same thing with anger, is like it's just going to go away, right? And I think what happens with a lot of people is they get mad at themselves for being really mad, or they get more anxious for being anxious, and they kind of like snowball it. And so not to like, we were just like way out in left field on this thing, but it's something I've worked through, reading and trying to like find myself and be just happier with who I am and stuff. So wrath is for sure it. If I mean, I don't know, do you like, is there like an anxiety one that like would roll into any in there? Because that's probably where it is the most right now.
I get not sloth might be the closest one, but that's
that's what I was gonna say.
That's being lazy. It's not.
Yeah, if there's an
there could be certain areas of your life where you struggle with sloth, and maybe it's like this avoidant, anxious thing, and then some areas where you don't, right? So maybe you don't 100%. Experience sloth professionally, but then other things, you know, you do experience and struggle with that because it's. I'd rather not take a look at that.
The answer is 100% yes.
Yes. Yeah. What was I gonna?
At least it is for me. It's like the like 9 times out of 10 when like, you know, I don't know, like then it makes me mad. It's not because I had a really great day. You know what I mean? Like and so for me, I feel I feel like those are there. It's certainly not this like desire for revenge. I'm never thinking that. I certainly like operate with a chip on my shoulder, but not to like hurt somebody else, but just to like for motivation. And so I think it's probably wrath, like
which
all of it.
Not the wrath bit, but speaking of the operating with chip on your shoulder talk therapy stuff, that was one of the things that, if we're referencing other shows, that we know that Pedro with Coffee Pods and Wads does a really great job on his interviews of just getting people to talk about things and going places that are not so, I don't know, standard. And his recent one that he did with Jason Hopper was really cool because Jason kind of went into a lot more depth about his upbringing and how that's influenced his decisions and his adult life and so on. It was really cool to hear him kind of open up a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. My devotion is over. You're up.
Well, you guys have to guess mine.
Oh.
Right? Lust for sure.
Totally. Do we just like guess the opposite? Avarice, obviously taking a lower paying job. Yeah.
Yeah, greed. Yeah, I came into the fitness industry because I was greedy. LOL.
I don't, Claire. I don't really think you.
I know what mine is.
Yeah, I know you know what it is for sure.
You said you don't think I exhibit very much what?
Very much of the 7 deadly sins.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think, for what it's worth, even though we can, like, I don't think anybody, maybe you, John, pride, but yet again, it's like part of the bit. Like, it's literally part of the bit. So it kind of can't go anywhere. Like, even if you have to kind of just like lean into it a little bit, like whatever.
CrossFit.
I know he's never going to give up on it. And I really feel that.
So CrossFit saying envy. I think for most, like John said, I think for most women that I know personally, like if I had to guess, it would be it. But I feel like I know Claire pretty well, and that one's of the list. If you rank them, it's really low. I don't know, like
that's but I think you're doing pretty good, Claire. I think you're a good person.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I'll say I do appreciate that. And CJ, I think you're right. And I think I just have to have a lot of gratitude for that, because like that is something that everyone struggles with in some capacity, I believe. And I would agree that it's probably something that is a bit harder on women. I don't even know that that's necessarily true, but it is something that humans struggle with, right? So I do feel grateful that I don't feel like I grapple a ton with envy. Yeah, but gluttony would be mine. And I mean, like, whatever, I always like to say I got the ism, like I have alcoholism. And so thankfully I'm in recovery for that. But like gluttony has been a theme.
I gotcha. Yeah.
I just choose to be aware of where I'm going to take and dump all of this energy that I will just put my head through the wall. But yeah, gluttony is something that I have to be mindful of because I'll try to overdo it in whatever it is that I'm up to. I think so. Or it's the one that I've struggled with historically, probably more, for sure. Yep. Anyway, okay. Well, that wasn't supposed to be a bit, but it was a bit. Here we are. Should we move on?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was great.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope Bill doesn't clip that one.
Yeah, please don't. Not that. But we do really appreciate it.
And now we're going to go through all the CrossFit Games athletes and decide which of the deadly sins they struggle with the most.
Please, no, I'm yeeting myself out of this show if y'all do that. That is a show for you, John, and not a show for me. If we want to like talk about their positive attributes, I can be on that show, but I'm not about to railroad them. Nope.
I'm joking. I wouldn't railroad. I love them all except Danny.
Yeah. Okay, so open season.
It's fucking party time.
Party time. I sent you a bunch of clips, CJ, because you see, I'm just really done trying to do technical things today.
Well, so unfortunately, none of them have come through on my computer. Thus, the phone is not in the room. Pretty sure it's dead, which is why they're not coming through on the computer.
So if I send them to you via direct message, that would work. No?
A direct message in Slack?
Instagram.
Yes.
You are about to get blasted.
Fun.
There's the first one. Here's another one that I think is an interesting one to apply to CrossFit. Boom. Skip that one. We can go to this one. You can go ahead and pull up the first one I sent you.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Do you guys want to talk about anything specific with the Open? Does anyone in the chat have anything specific to the Open? Because it is starting, the signups, the registration is in 2 days.
2 days.
So Wednesday, we can register. And as opposed to previous years where maybe we've all been a little bit, or at least I have been a little bit like, wait around, I'm doing it early.
Oh, yeah, day one. I paid for Slater. Is Slater still here?
I can't say that I was a day one girly before, but I'm going to be a day one girly this time.
All right. Who posted this? Who is Eddie's method? Let me see who this person is first. I hope
you don't know the method of Eddie?
I don't know who this fucking is. Am I supposed to?
Listen.
Should I know this person?
I have no idea.
Is it this guy?
Sounds great.
It's amazing how focused you are when you know where you're going.
Is that what one of the...
That's what,
what he says?
That's what one of his things was.
Oh, just now. Yeah. Okay. Probably shouldn't have this up. Let's just get out of there. All right. I want to see the DMs for sure.
Yeah. Right, now you're really being tested. You better. Yeah.
Okay. It was lust. Just kidding.
Gosh, I hope not. That's not funny. That's not even a little bit funny. No.
I'm sorry. All
right. The Open. Okay. So
rewind.
The Open is not a training phase. Every year when the Open approaches, the same thing happens. Training changes, volume spikes, intensity creeps up, programs suddenly prepare for the Open. And every year I avoid talking about it, not because the Open isn't important, but because most of the conversation around it is fundamentally wrong. The Open is not a training phase. It's not where you get fitter or stronger. It's where you find out if your training made sense. The Open is a test. It's a mirror, and mirrors don't lie. They only reflect what you've been doing all year. Okay.
So that was the post.
Disagree.
Yeah, I disagree fundamentally. And so now again, this is semantics are fun and you can spin words however it is. No, the 3 weeks of the Open is not a training phase. It is a test. And in that sense, from a definitional standpoint, he is right. But this is called training. These things. Now, if this only changes 3 weeks before the Open, that's bad. That's bad. And I assume that's what he's referencing. If he's just assuming that when we've trained all year and we've gone through an off-season, volume accumulation, intensification, and then a pre-comp into the Open, and now he's defining my pre-comp phase, right? Or my open prep phase, which we all call it because it's fun and buzzwords, and that's why people fucking buy programs. If he's saying that that is the wrong way to do it, then he's wrong. But I don't know. You could really take this a couple of ways.
Yep.
Right. But to say that we're preparing to do open style workouts in June, and that's what we're going to do the entire year, you're not going to have much left by the time February comes around.
Right.
Because you can't run intensity truly all the time.
Yeah. And you also won't be good at anything but aerobic stuff.
Oh, and then he says, I need Tristan here. Yeah, it'd be fun. Tristan would have some fun with this. Yeah, I'm with you. I definitely didn't like send it to like, you know, I didn't know how you would react to it at all. But I do like, you know, looking at the open workouts specifically as a test and then just taking a look at what are we doing surrounding those.
Yeah. And I think and as I'm reading the actual caption now, he's like, the open is a test. It exposes these things. And then none of these are built in 3 to 4 weeks. Right. And so they're built throughout the entire year. And so in that aspect, he's right. For sure. Right. Yeah. The open is a test. And if the only time that you start making change, and we say this in WOD Prep all the time, right? Like, you know, people reach us in February, 3 weeks before the open, trying to learn a muscle up. It's like, maybe. But if you would have done the entire 8-week course, or you would have been working on muscle ups the entire year, or working on double unders the entire year, it'd be better. Right. Thus, go to WOD Prep Academy, wodprep.com. Annual subscription. You get an onboarding call with me, Claire, Ben, or Nelson. Amazing.
And I will support you.
JY. And after the open, if you want to work on your barbell work.
No, don't worry. This is a WOD Prep podcast. No,
we can be mutually supportive.
You can do all things through WOD Prep.
Anyway.
And so, yeah, I think I mean, again, it's almost kind of like CBG stuff, right? Like, it's like we're saying one thing to like really get a pull, but it's like not really what he's trying to say.
Yes.
Obviously, everyone understands that the open is not a training phase. Now, to say preparing for the open is a training phase, it is certainly a part of a training cycle, right? So
you would call that a mesocycle, right?
Yeah. Depending on the length of it or whatever. Yeah. The mesocycle would be like our open prep, which we start today. Next week, today. Because we're not really preparing through the open this year for quarterfinals for our
main. So for your athletes, you would have them preparing roughly 4 weeks out. Well, 4 to 6 weeks out.
It depends on what it looked like prior, right? So intensification is 4 weeks is probably pretty short. For the open, it's fine. But again, like, it depends. Like, if we're trying to peak for a weekend, 4 weeks is probably pretty short. Just in general. But like for the open as it stands, knowing that we're going to move past it, then yeah, that's fine. Right.
Now, so I have a question for you guys. If you are pretty comfortable and you think, no, you're going to make the top 25%, I do think you could spend all year training for quarterfinals.
Well, you would go through the normal training cycle. That's the same to me. It's the same training. The training cycle is not based on, because whoever needs to prepare for the open to make it to the next phase, their training cycle to them is going to look like our training cycle for quarterfinals or semifinals. Like, they still need to prioritize some strength because they probably are weak enough that they can't even move the thruster bar very well, right? They need to prioritize efficiency, movement efficiency, high skill gymnastics, because their one rep, getting the one rep is still going to be it. So I think I agree with you. But I think that person that needs to peak for the open is the same for the person that needs to peak for quarterfinals, the person that needs to peak for semifinals, even the person that needs to peak for the games. It's just relative to that person. The year generally looks overarchingly the same. Maybe not for games athletes anymore because of
yes. Okay, so like as far as like volume and stuff like that and cycling and all that, like 100%, I get it. So I think the programming is completely different. So I think what you're doing is completely different. I think if you had a person who could do, let's just say 3 of every movement, including bar muscle ups, they could do 3 bar muscle ups. That person could just run all year and they would make it to the top 25%. That's it. Just run. I bet you could make the top 25% in the open if they pre already had 3 of every movement.
Maybe. So I don't just.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Quarterfinals is the complete opposite.
Right. So, but coming back to that, they still need a base level of strength and skill to have 3 of everything.
I think you make the top 25% even if you didn't have that.
You don't, because at least looking at last year, you don't, because that dumbbell got fatiguing. I know it's 50 pounds is a joke for us, right? Relatively speaking, but it's not for someone who has zero weight training. And the top 25% athlete is, do you know anyone that was working for 75% specifically?
To the top 25%? Yes.
Yeah. Like, them, like their level, like you see them in person, like you've coached them and you've worked with them, right? That person is so much different. Guys, if anyone else capitalizes the P in Wad Prep, I'm going to kick you off the show. It's capital WOD, lowercase PREP. Spell it right.
And Vicky, we still love you.
And we still love you. So I agree with you, but I still think that person, if they have no back, so they just could randomly do those things, but they didn't have CrossFit training, no, I don't think they make the top 25%.
So, okay, well, I will say in my experience, the people who are just trying to make it through the open are all overwhelmingly too strong for the strength is never a factor of what's being tested.
Right.
The last 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. So
I agree.
It's heavily just how aerobic you are. So your regular person that does CrossFit class every day, and nothing specific, they shoot CrossFit class, and they can do a couple toes to bar, and they can do a couple pull-ups, and maybe they don't have a bar muscle up quite yet. They can make the top 25% just by being aerobically good. They could run all day every year and make the top 25%. They don't have to prioritize certain things if they can do a 35-pound dumbbell snatch. Does that mean, or okay, how about a year of CrossFit? 1 year of CrossFit, and then they just ran every day. I don't think the open is a good test whatsoever. I think it's a test of aerobic capacity, and it shouldn't be heralded.
Yeah,
I wish it could be. I want it to be.
Yeah,
so you wish that it was a good test in isolation. What you're saying is, if you take that snapshot exclusively, then you're not able to really. Okay, and what you're saying is that it's not well-rounded enough to whatever percentile you get. If you were to make the test more well-rounded, things would shake up differently, is what you're saying.
Correct. And all that I'm saying for that, because I know I'm preaching to the choir and I've said it forever, but all that I'm saying in that is that you don't necessarily need to prioritize training to make it through the open if you have a general skills in CrossFit. You just need to be aerobically better.
I mean, it definitely is the case that, in recent history, your aerobic capacity is going to be a huge component. Your ability to
it's all it is.
No, and
it's not all it is, but it is.
If you have a general skill base,
if you have a general strength base, I don't think you need 6 pull-ups to get a bar muscle ups.
Okay.
The average.
You could make it without doing a bar muscle up last year.
Okay, could that person thruster 135/95? That's a heavy load for a lot of people.
You don't have to finish it. You don't have to finish it. You could do 5 reps at 135.
Well, I guess you didn't even have to touch the barbell.
You could do 17 minutes on the last one, and then you don't have to do a bar muscle up, and you'll make it through the top 25%.
Okay, so take this back to the pyramid. You've got nutrition at the base, then you've got metabolic conditioning next, right? And then we get into gymnastics and the weightlifting and then sport, right?
Sure.
So, and some throwing up top. Anyway, so if we look at for the open, in order to have good conditioning, you're gonna fare better there if your nutrition is in check. So basically, I understand what you're saying of you wish that there was more of the other components, but it does look like the open does a really good job of thoroughly covering the base of the pyramid, and you just wish that there were more components from higher up.
Yeah, no, I think it's a test of aerobic capacity, and that's it. Obviously there are skills in there. Obviously, you got to be able to do a thruster with 135, and right. That is heavy for a lot of people.
Correct.
I understand that. But if a thruster with 135 is your strength test, you didn't really test strength.
Sure, not at the top level. But
if 15 bar muscle ups is your gymnastics test, you didn't really test gymnastics.
All right.
What I'm saying, Claire, every single step of the way is a balanced test, except for the test that applies to most people. And I think we're not doing the world justice with that. because and back when the open was 5 weeks and it was a hamper on everybody, and I get it's 3 weeks now and you can't test everything in 3 weeks, blah 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 blah. Right?
You could.
You can't. They've done it before.
You could make multiple tests a week. You could do a 2-part test every week. No one would be upset.
The opens of 2014 through 2018. Go look at those. Go look at what those workouts, just the workouts, and then look at the last 3 years' workouts. They're completely different. It's completely different.
Yeah, I don't know.
And are we less fit now? And when I'm saying the test that applies to the most people, the most important test is the worst one. Well, and I think that's bad.
But I mean, okay, so take out the top 25%. Take out the top 25%, and it's just for 3/4 of them. So we're talking roughly 200,000 people. It's a complete test for those people. For everybody else, even to 80%, assuming just take 80%.
If you don't have an aerobic background, I disagree.
I want to ask then too. I like toying with this idea. What is one specific change that you wish occurred the most? Like if there's anything for you, John, that would make it, you would go, that moved the needle in the right direction to make this a more well-rounded, finding the fittest through this.
Well, I mean,
this
I
test.
think it's gotten progressively worse for the last 3 years, but year after year after year. You look at 2021's open. I think that was a well-ran open.
You don't think 23 was a good test? It ended at a 185.
23 was a good test.
Yes. And it had ring muscle ups.
24 and 25 were really
and a max thrusting. Right. So I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing in that sense. It's changed.
I think I'm thinking of 2022 instead of 2023 when I said the last 3 years. 3 of the last 4 years.
Right.
The last two would fall in that category. I think 2023 was wonderful. That ended on the handstand push-ups that were strict. And they were really hard.
And 225. Yeah, because it was with fucking 225 snatches.
Well, no. Anybody who's done that workout, those handstand push-ups did not feel like a regular set of 20 handstand push-ups. They were like, it was very much under fatigue. 2023 was probably the best open they've had in 5 years. And I'm just saying 2024, 2025 had been very, very poor. It's just testing for aerobic capacity. And what you can point to it, who did it in 2023? Who did the program? Yeah,
it was Boz.
Right. And then Dave was 24 and 25. And I'm just saying the last 2 years have been really, really, really bad. If you're doing a well-rounded test, and I think the open should be a well-rounded test for the people doing it, dude. It's the CrossFit Open. Like this should be your marker of how fit are you. And you cannot use it with what we've done in the last 2 years. You can't use it.
So,
and I've had to explain to people, like people like heartbroken at their after the open, right? Mm-hmm. Where there's a girl who's a runner and all she does is run. And she's really weak. Her best snatch is 100 pounds. And I wouldn't say really weak, but her best clean is 125. Her best snatch is 100. And then you got a girl who can snatch 155. She's a little bit on the bigger side, but she can do handstand. She can handstand walk. She can do chest to bar pull-ups. She doesn't have a bar muscle up yet. She beats this other girl in about 7 out of 10 workouts. She all around is fitter than this other girl and got hosed in the open. And I have to explain to this girl, she's not actually fitter than you, even though I know it really looks like it. And that shouldn't be the case. Mm-hmm. I'm not just talking about just because I have to do that, but people all around the world have to do that. And you're giving people a false sense of fitness because you're lying to them.
I think at the high levels, I agree. I think at the lower levels, I don't agree. And I just have to I think there is a strength component. There is the skill component, right? Like at the not top 10%, right? Like all things equal, a stronger person would win workout 2 and workout 3, maybe not workout 1, but like strength and power was important in workout 3. Now the barbell got too light. I wish it stayed a little heavier, but
you're saying strength was a primary component. 225.
No, I said it was important. You needed power. Important. It is. You had to rip the rower. You have to have the power to rip the rower.
I bet you Bryson beat me by like 4 minutes in that workout. I don't know what Bryson's score was.
Bryson is extremely fit and he's pretty strong, relatively speaking.
I bet you Nelson beat me by 3 minutes in that.
Absolutely not. No, I hope he's not listening, but no, I know he didn't.
Was Nelson very poor at that workout?
Yeah, we had a rough.
Is Nelson decently strong?
Yeah.
Then was it that important of a thing?
No, he's a bad example, but I understand your sentiment. I get it. But I still think there is a strength component, and I think for the masses, I think it's a decent test. I think the test might have been a little bit better if it was like 225, 185, 135.
I think I would not have any complaints.
Right. And so
I think it should be 185 across the board. I think it would
185 across the board would have been a stopgate, right? As Chase and that, you know, and so which would have been fine. I think that totally would have been
your one thing that would have been changed. 185 across the board last year would have made the whole open fine. But since there wasn't a strength test,
you're talking about in the final workout, leave it the same load.
John
185 across the board.
John wants something where a lot of people have to hesitate to look at the bar. Like that's
but you got to be fit to get to it though, right? Like it's not, or like a 16.2, a 17.3.
Yeah.
Like they do it all the time. They're not bad at it.
I agree. I think 23.3, same thing. I agree. I think that's an easy way to do it without changing anything, right? And so you basically get 2 tests under 1 score, but it's still there, right? If you kept it 1 score. I do agree in that sense that it could have been better, but I still think it's a good test of fitness overall. You know, it's not a complete test because I think they're leaning into quarterfinals only being 2 weeks later, right?
Sure. So no, in quarterfinals fixes a lot of it. But last year there wasn't any quarterfinals, and it was based on that. And your gymnastics that you did, did 4 muscle ups and 25 wall walks. That's testing gymnastics to the highest capacity.
Well, they changed it. Now it's
to get people to semifinals. But I'm just explaining this is what they need to be better. Like it's gymnastics too. It's not just strength.
Yeah, it was low. It was low last year. 24. Did 24 have more gymnastics? What was the gymnast? Was there even a gym? I guess there was the last workout, whatever it was. I don't even remember what it was.
Weren't there muscle ups
even
in there
have
too?
Gymnastics. Yeah, there were 10 bar muscle ups.
Yeah.
No, really? Is that what it was?
I don't know. We can definitely. One of the things I want to do is actually pull up some workouts and take a look at them through the lens of like a coach.
That was a lot of typing really fast. I just heard.
Was that John? I guess so.
No, 24.3 was good. It was 5 rounds of like 7 thrusters and 7 bar.
Oh yeah. That's right.
And that workout was dirty, but like there should be a workout like that.
I agree. Last year was a miss. The 22.3 as the repeat was a miss for sure. That workout it's like, I agree. It's just not hard enough to create any separation. Right. And at the top, it's just who's going to cycle the fastest, and not to take anything away from the people that did really, really well, but cycle rate was everything in the open. Right. That's all it was. Right. And so when there's not a piece to slow the top athletes down, then it's just like, who has the fastest per like seconds per rep, and I don't like that always. I think there should always be some of that, but it shouldn't be every workout. And it was every workout. I don't like that.
Do you not think so, Claire?
That the open is not a...
You think it's a well-rounded test that people should base how fit they are on? I think
no.
you can base how aerobically fit you are.
Right. Yeah, I think that from my perspective, it is a piece of the puzzle. And it is in anticipation of getting a more well-rounded test as you progress further along. So I hear you in isolation. If that's the only testing point that you have, then it could be a skewed perspective if we're going based on last year. But yeah, so I'm not.
And I'm fine if that's what it should be. I'm fine if that's what we're saying it should be. But you are cheating the not as fit people. You're cheating the bottom 75% of a well-rounded, this is where I'm at in the world. And if you're like, well, you haven't earned the right to have a well-rounded test. Cool. I think we can do better than that, though. I really do.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're definitely like hard stanced and black and white on it. Wow, that was a huge fumble. Um, and I'm just not. I think the test, I think it was good enough. I think it could have been a lot better. I think there were easy changes, right? I think the 185 across the board is the change that I think we all said immediately. It was for sure what I commented on, like as it was being released, and especially after I watched them get 10 minutes on that workout. Um, and so yeah, I think last year, in a couple years, small changes would have been it. This is probably a conversation for maybe later of like, is Dave losing his touch? Like, we hear him say, "Oh wow, they were way faster than I thought," right? And it's like, it's like I need you to know how fast the fastest person is going to be.
I need you to know.
I need you to know. I need
Just
you
ask Colton. Just ask Colton what you're talking about.
Yeah. And so and again, I think with quarterfinals where it is, the quarterfinal test is more important from the sport perspective. But I agree with I understand John's sentiment in like it should be a rounded test for the 200 or 300,000 people that are going to do it, right? We should be able to look at the open leaderboard and gauge our fitness across the world, because that's what we've been taught to do, right? And so in that aspect, I'll continue to walk it back and agree with John a little bit more, because the open doesn't have as much value to the people that are going to be at the top of the leaderboard, unless they're going to be at the top and win money. Then you can't even gauge yourself, because people aren't putting in 100% effort, right? And so, and that's also that's probably a different topic in general, but it's nice to be able to look at the open leaderboard and know that I was 70 percentile one year, I'm 75th this year, and I got better, relatively speaking. And it's a broad test. And so I do like that. And if we feel like we're missing it, then that stinks. I think it's close for sure. Even with the test as it is, I don't think it's 15 or 20% off. I think it's still a good gauge, but it could probably be better.
Yeah, there are definitely some different considerations with it.
I'm gonna remove
and I also, Oh, okay, bye. And I also will say too that I wish that he was here for this, but that like we know that Dave has openly said that he is paying better attention to what people are saying and just the media in general, right? And so it'll be interesting to see if any of this type of stuff, because it's not like this is the first conversation about this, right? By a long shot. And so it'll be interesting to see if it has any influence, such as what CJ just said of, I expect you to know what the best times are going to be. And so then, yeah, it'll just be cool to see, next year when he does his testing, does he make any sort of pivot changes there? Since there was a lot of upset about those types of things. So it'll just be interesting. We'll know soon enough, but we don't know right now.
Yeah, I also think the people that he has testing it used to be closer to the top times than they are now.
Right.
No offense to Ben Smith. Ben Smith's great, but like.
Well, and the separation at the top is just huge. It just really is. Yeah. So still absolutely remarkable fitness, but like the gap from that to those top guys is just, there's a very solid gap that's there.
Do you think, I think someone can be a great programmer, right? And just not have the associations. And this is not that Dave can't call on literally anyone in the space, but I'm thinking about JR. Like if JR didn't have his finger on the pulse of like what high level athletes is, would he be as good of a programmer? You know what I mean? Right. At least like, cause you have to like be.
It would depend on who it would apply to. It would apply to.
Right. Right. And so if we assume good programmers are like in this context, right? It's games, semifinal, whatever it is, like being a good programmer there understands the level of the athlete, not just putting together a broad test of fitness, right? Based on the CrossFit definition. Like we look at 14, 15, 16, 17 as amazing programmed years, right? And if we ran those now, they would be less amazing because everyone can, like the level of athlete has shifted. And so those tests get.
We would say they're not, it wasn't programmed hard enough.
Right. Exactly. And so, but in 15, arguably the hardest open ever, right? Or the hardest games ever relative to the level of athlete at the time. Right. And so it's interesting. And I think that has a huge role in it. And, to define what makes a good programmer or a good program too, right? Same, including the open.
But then to go back to what Greg would always say, and I'm a big believer in this, that you program for the best and then you scale for the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you program for the top tier athlete and then you just scale as you go down, I don't think you can go wrong with that. Did you guys see Dave say in his week in review that the Open's going to come out with a bang?
I fucking hope so. No, but that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Whatever that means, I don't care.
My dad's convinced it means pistols, and I told him I think it means rings.
That would be a bang. All right.
Rings and pistols.
Okay.
Like the hardest open workout ever.
Yeah, then it would be like he listened to you on steroids.
Dude, if pistols show up in the open, I'm gonna be so pissed.
That definitely would be kind of wild.
Why?
So mad. I think pistols are.
He's not.
I don't think they ride with the like even just the concept of like power and speed, right? Of like under the curve, like they're not there. I don't think. I think the demands. It's like ring handstand push-ups. The demands of it are so limited to people, like when the majority of games athletes are in their toes, and it's not an excuse to say like, oh, move better, and everyone should move better and try to.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a movement like that and you're trying to race, it's just going to get so sloppy
mm-hmm.
every time. And the risk versus reward is just, I just don't think it's there.
Yeah.
That's fair. I think it would be hard to judge in the open too.
I agree.
We've had it in the open, but yeah.
Yep.
I'm just saying,
like once or twice.
That was that. Then I think it would be hard to judge. You couldn't judge judging.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to move us along. I want you.
Me and JD have had long pistol conversations.
Does she like them?
He can feed her fast. He's a good guy, smart dude. He loves them. He programs them for the gym. Goes through long progressions of it. Yeah.
Can you pull up the next thing?
Yes.
Which will be the next one that I sent you, I believe, the one that is Layla Hormozi.
Got it. Oh my gosh.
I feel like this is a moment that if Souza watched this show, he would appreciate, just because this is Alex Hormozi's wife, which is like one of his guys, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, is Alex actually one of his guys? I didn't know if he just like to make fun of him or not, because I feel like they always talk in irony, or very ironically about him. So he likes Hormozi.
I believe so. John may be able to confirm or deny that.
John has no idea who that is.
I think so.
I know who Layla Hormozi is.
Oh, okay.
Well, and her husband. So we're talking about.
I know her husband more than Layla.
Yeah, and Souza's a fan of him for real, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are. It's a question. I didn't know if, because they always like reference Hormozi around Susan. I didn't know if it was ironically because he thinks he's dumb or because he likes him. I never could tell.
I did not think that he liked him, but I don't know.
Great. Okay. Well, maybe not. But I thought that this slideshow she obviously did not write these for CrossFitters, but I think that generally these are basically, I just wanted to kind of quickly go through them, and each one of us can kind of take and apply them to our own lives, but certainly with our own thoughts and approaches towards our training and towards the open. And so there's just a few slides, but I just think it's great because we all want to ultimately be high performers, whatever that is, that's relative to each one of us, but like we all want to be high performers. And so I think it's funny that I didn't even realize that this is one of those 7 deadly sins. So tying it back to earlier, but either way, they don't envy, they study. Then go ahead and go next. I think it's important we think about the open, high performers still fall apart. They just recover faster.
High performers don't envy, they study. High performers still fall apart. They just recover faster. The highest performers I know have a high tolerance for pain and an even higher tolerance for boredom. You sure this isn't about CrossFitters?
Right.
The highest performers I know understand that getting feedback is a blessing, not a threat. The highest performers are intrinsically motivated. They want to do their very best because that's just who they are. Are you sure this wasn't made for CrossFitters?
Yeah. So
this one.
Yes. That one definitely I figured would speak to you.
I say this all the time. Like the athlete that can have boring training and the athlete that wants to hurt the most is the athlete that's going to win every time.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know that there was really, other than I simply just thought it was a really great mindset type thing to be taking into your own approach to your own training and so on. I enjoy it. And different ones. That one spoke to me a lot. And then the fact that they still fall apart, they just recover faster. I liked that because, of course, it's like often, an athlete will fall apart and then they'll be really upset with themselves or whatever.
Mhm.
And if you look at the mature, high performer, successful, like they fall apart frequently.
Yeah.
We watched
You
Hopper
can
do it
even
in event 9, right?
you can even like physiologically move that to everyone will fall apart.
Mhm.
And then the fittest people just recover faster. Like they just at the end of the workout, that's the whole concept of fitness, right? Is to like degrade fitness throughout a session. And then the ones that are the fittest are the ones that can get back to 100% the quickest.
Right.
I think the tolerance for boredom is the number one thing.
Huge.
Do you remember the story of Fraser just rowing and staring at a knot on the rope? And if he could stare at the knot for 60 minutes without blinking, without like moving his eyes, like he was ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what he told himself. Or biking. He was biking and he just stared at a knot. And then if he could just shut off and stare at that knot without moving, then he mentally was ready for the games.
I feel like there are so many stories like this for Fraser. It's shocking.
Well,
There are just so many wait, what stories?
He probably is the only one that took that route.
To that obsessive of a thing. I think Rich was just a little bit like Da Vinci, a little bit just ahead of his time and just a little bit better than everybody and
at everything.
At everything, right? Just a little bit better than most, but not like the best at everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fraser just took it to an obsessive level that I don't think anybody else has ever done, including Tia. I think Tia is just better than everybody, but the not obsessive the way Fraser is.
I think her obsession is into winning when Matt's was into like being hit. Like, I mean, obviously his was winning too, but it feels like, and it's only recently. Like I had no idea like what Tia's mindset was until maybe the last year when she just started doing more proven stuff, right?
Yeah,
and being open about it. It's clear that she just has like an obsession with just winning. Like that is it, just winning. And it's like, battling of coming back after pregnancy and postpartum. And, obviously I assume there's probably battles behind the scenes on like, all right, when do we time this? What do we do? Do I come back again? And I assume she's like having all of those conversations with herself right now again. And so, but with Matt, it was like, how can I make this as hard, as uncomfortable as possible the entire training season to make sure that I'm better than it? You know what I mean? Like purposely putting myself in positions that were like obscene, just absolutely off the wall, right? Of 60-minute long rows and, the 140 on 20 seconds, like just doing things that were just pure pain and repetitiveness that no one in the CrossFit space can tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like bike sprints until you throw up every day, not just one day a week, right? Like that's your entire training protocol is like, okay, here's our entire energy systems training bit. We're going to have a sprint day. We're going to have a long day. We're going to have a threshold day. And we're going to have an aerobic day. They're all going to be on the same exact machine, staring at the same exact wall. And it's not going to change. You're just going to go faster or slower or whatever it is. And so people can't do that, right? I've learned as a coach because I was actually pretty good at that. I was never great, but I could, like, if I knew that it was going to get me better, I had no problem getting up and doing rowing intervals 5 days a week, which I did. I just was never good enough. I just never got strong enough. And so I think very few people can put in that. I mean, I think Hopper's a great example of like, okay, here's what it is. And it's like, it just didn't go for him. You know what I mean? And obviously the switch was the perfect decision for him. And now he's the fittest on the planet. And so it's just an interesting thing for, to like rear back on. I wish we could really see the training logs and like exactly what he did. Cause I bet it looks like a lot of copy paste day to day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've seen a few, like Hopper sent me some stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I'm just doing the same stuff that he did, and I'm good at all that stuff.
Like, oh yeah, like all the machine shit.
All the stuff that Matt did, and he goes, and I'm good at all that stuff.
And that's not what I need.
No. Did
Right.
not see that private chat.
Well,
no.
Oh, cool. What? Where?
On the right, it says private chat all the way at the bottom.
Thank you.
So
anyway, and so you can take and apply that to yourself. Like, yes, we're talking about him as an example, but I think the call out there is like, each one of those, some of those slides can speak to each one of us. And so like, maybe we're not staring at a knot for an hour and that's our whatever, but like, what is that 1% better for us? When we're thinking about our performances and about our training leading up to the Open, since we are CrossFitters who care about getting better, we just do, then like, what does that actually look like for us? High performer is of course, just like all things, right? It's relative. Intensity is relative. And so high performer can also be relative to where you are today. And what is a step that you're going to, take towards that direction? I think these are really solid things to be thinking about when it comes to preparation for the Open, if it's something you want to excel at for yourself.
Yeah. And so I think we'll finish it up. I think we're coming up on an hour. And I want to finish with like our best advice to get ready for the Open. I think that's a solid finish. So in case you guys don't know, Wad Prep's business is teaching people how to get better at CrossFit.
Yeah.
Fundamentally at every skill that has been presented in our sport. And so this is what we do. We get athletes ready for the Open. And so that is a lot of what this channel is about, right? That's why we love CrossFit so much. And succeeding in the Open is the name of the game in our company. And so that's what we do. And so if you're looking to do better in the Open, head over to WODprep.com and give it a look. But in all seriousness, Claire, what's your go-to advice
for the Open?
Yeah.
I think it's tough because I think it depends on who you're speaking to when you give advice, and so broad advice, mechanics, consistency, intensity, like, sorry, but seriously, it's like, are we prioritizing those things in that order? Right.
Sure.
And so, sorry, that was pretty broad, but I mean, that's what it's kind of hard to give like advice when I'm like, well, we're all over the spectrum with what we need to focus on or whatever. I mean, I think other than that, literally like, yes, we have a short time horizon between now and then. And so there isn't like a lot of stuff that can be built between now and then. But like, I would say, obviously, if you know that there are areas that are going to stop you up, this is a great opportunity to focus on those more. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
CrossFit. I think you hit us at the same time.
Yeah. CrossFit said Claire teed this question up. I teed the question up, but then answered with it depends. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree. I think there's a point where if your goal purely is the best score, right? Like mechanics, consistency, intensity, like you can start to make that shift, even if your mechanics aren't, like my mechanics aren't perfect, right? But I know I can shift to consistency, right? Or like I can make sure that I'm consistent. And then now it's like, all right, now I'm really starting to push intensity because I know this is going to show up. So it's yeah, I mean, that's certainly the best answer, right? I think it's the what covers the most. John, what about you?
Also, hold on. We just have to put this on the screen because it matters. So
it does matter.
Thank you, CrossFit. I'll just tuck that and keep it.
I would say pick the two movements, just two. Pick two movements.
You stole my shit. You don't even have to
that you are the worst at, and then put them
that you believe will come up in the Open.
Yeah, and then so like toes to bar and double unders, like it's just
fucking
like a gymnastic and double unders is a good one because like
they're
going to come up. Even if you're good at them, you could be better at them, and just put that in your warm up protocol. So like every single day, you warm up with 50 double unders. And then maybe it's like 25 double unders, 10 toes to bar, and then 2 rounds of that. And that's how you warm up for your class every day. And like every day, you just put those 2 movements in your warm up protocol and do something very doable, not like a workout. This is just warming up. And then we got 40 something days, and then you'll be exponentially better at those 2 movements once they come out in the Open than you would have been otherwise.
Yep. Yeah. And
I should have went first.
For that specifically, if you want feedback, you can join Wad Prep Academy, and you can just take a video of yourself doing it and upload it into Academy if you are a member, and get feedback from one of our coaches within 24 hours. So just saying.
That's right.
I'm just saying, if you want to not only do your 20 minutes a day, which is great.
If you're tired of being shit at double unders for your however many years you've been doing CrossFit, Larry Young, you should just fucking pay the $400 one time and join for the year and learn double unders. I swear to God, you'll learn. No matter what comeback, he's not listening anymore. But
he just needs to be consistent. He'll do it for 7 days in a row, and then he won't do it for a month. Then he'll do it for.
Justin.
Wait, so did we say mechanics, consistency, intensity? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. My advice is John's, right? Like you. Yeah, Justin's a huge Wad Prep Academy member.
This is completely unrelated to anything to do with CrossFit, but I also can finally say it, and we did share it yesterday. But as of today is the first day of the WWE tryout for my fiance, so completely unrelated. But before we get off the air, I have to mention it. I am so excited. I talked to him after day 1, and I'll keep it nice and vague, but it's going well, and it's an all-week tryout, and it's a freaking big deal. So sorry, I totally was gonna not let us get off here without saying that because I'm so proud of him. Anyway, okay, that's enough. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you, Leslie. Okay.
Bye, John.
Okay, sorry.
You can wrap it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean weakness-based stuff, right? Like face your obstacles head on. I mean, I think that's like our biggest thing. And I think what CrossFit does a really good job of teaching us, but I coach a lot of people, man. A lot of people just really don't like to work on the shit they suck at. But when you suck less at the shit you suck at, you are just better at CrossFit. Like John could go from 315-pound snatch to 400-pound snatch, and it fucking wouldn't move him up the leaderboard an ounce. I mean, probably lower because the sacrifices that would have to be made.
Yep.
Absolutely lower. I wouldn't even say probably.
And so, dude, if you're, it's a bar graph, right? It's in every piece of literature that Greg has written about jack of all trades, master of none on purpose, right? Like it's the whole purpose of the area under the curve. So find your weaknesses and pull them up. Okay. And if you have no idea what to focus on, if you don't have a skill at all, get 1 rep of whatever that skill is, and it moves you up the leaderboard thousands of spots every time. Right. If you don't have a bar muscle up, get a bar muscle. If you don't have a chest to bar, get a chest to bar. If you don't have double unders, bro, 1, come on, get double unders.
Yeah.
So. And Wad Prep is the way to get those.
now John's just,
John.
Yeah. So there are a couple of other things about the Open. I thought it'd be fun for us to take some of the workouts and to look at them through the lens of a coach. So maybe we can do that on another show. We certainly have time between now and then. And then also I kind of want to talk through some like community stuff. So maybe we should really try to focus on that sooner rather than later, as far as ideas, things that you have experienced within your gym, because like any of us that are members of affiliates, like they do different things. And so maybe we could share some different neat things that you've experienced your affiliate do, or you've seen another affiliate do during the Open, to kind of make it a more, because even if we're not the affiliate owner, like we still are an active member. And oftentimes affiliate, I mean, I guess every situation is different, but usually if you'll volunteer to be helpful, that's often received well. So anyway, I thought it'd be fun to talk about that stuff, but we're over. So
I agree. All right.
We'll talk about it later. Okay.
Right. Adios, guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Good luck, Jimmy.
Next week.